Right, I'm here with Zach. Why have you come on the march today, Zach?
I think it's important. A lot of people were shocked at the election, rightfully so, that the Tories got a majority after 5 years of brutal cuts that ruining many working class people's lives. I think this has come at the right time, as that shock has led to anger, and people don't want to take no more. They don't want to wait 5 years of the Tory government that are going to make £12 billion more cuts to benefits, more attacks on our public services, and likely more attempts to privatise our NHS. It's time to kickstart this movement, to argue if we can march together today, then the unions need to start striking together as well. And at the core of that as well, against austerity, we need to resist racism. We need to resist racism, because austerity breeds parties like UKIP. Nigel Farage feeds on the rightful anger people feel towards the mainstream parties, who are all signed up to austerity. He feeds that and tries to blame migrants.
We also see like Liz Kendall the other night on the thing talking about like we want an Australian type immigration. What is she talking about?
Absolutely, trying to out UKIP. That got them very far in the election. You know, I think a big part of Labour losing was not only that they were signed up to more years of austerity. How many people didn't come out and vote and thought, why should I vote for Labour? They're saying they're going to continue austerity and will play UKIP at their own game with racism.
But you look towards the media, they're supposedly independent, something like the BBC, and I know their researchers probably thinking, look, let's get somebody like Farage, let's get the right... But imagine, why wouldn't they embrace the politics of like Leanne Wood, Nicola Sturgeon, Natalie Bennett? Why do you think they don't want to embrace positive politics?
That's a very good question. I think there's a crisis in terms of representation in the media. You know, whenever do we have an anti-austerity voice in the media? I think we don't. We have austerity light or brutal austerity. It's a travesty. I think the times like when the Tories were elected last time, we had 500,000 people on the streets at the TUC demonstration. It wasn't even covered. I think it's a crisis of representation.
My friend Frankie Boyle, he said England is a little bit racist.
I think we have to be absolutely clear. You know, UKIP getting 4 million votes. I don't think that 4 million people jumped from the Labour Party and went and voted UKIP just like that. I think that there is elements of racism. I think a lot of people accepted racist arguments from UKIP. However, I think a lot of people can be pulled back if there's a lead from the trade union movement in terms of fighting austerity. If we fight for this argument that immigrants aren't to blame, the bloody Etonians are to blame, I think we can pull a lot of people back from accepting a racist argument that immigrants are somehow the devil incarnate and to blame for all the crisis.
It's awful as well when you see sort of like dead black Africans off the coast of Lampedusa at the drowning, and you get people like Katie Hopkins, massive media presence, writing for The Sun, calling them cockroaches, saying, show me the bodies, I still don't care.
I think it's all related. I think, you know, racism tends to rise at times of brutal austerity, of times of economic crisis. Why? Because the top push it, because it's a way of dividing us. And it's no surprise to me, I say again, that Nigel Farage is given such a platform to do that, to divide us. That's why I think today it's really important to give people hope that we can challenge austerity and we can resist racism.
Well, why do you think, I ask some people, how is it so easy just to rub people a little bit and that prejudice comes out? Why is that so easy to do?
I think when people are desperate, you know, the media, the politicians are offering... We've got to be clear, you know, the scapegoating of immigrants, the kind of push of racism didn't start with UKIP. It's been for generations. We've seen mainstream politicians play the race cards, the appalling attacks on asylum seekers that was happening as much under the Tony Blair government, going back, you know, a decade under that government, has laid way really for the disgusting racism we see now at UKIP. And I just wanted to say, I found it absolutely despicable yesterday, following a horrific attack in America yesterday, the day before, where a black church, 9 people were murdered by, was a white supremacist terrorist. But David Cameron uses yesterday as an opportunity, with no reference to that, to start attacking the Muslim community over here. You know, I think it's irresponsible, the game they play. They'll use migrants and black communities as some kind of political football, as a way of dividing us, and that's why I think it's always important to argue the point with working class people, to always argue for unity, because that's how we're going to stop the bastards at the top.